Hey, good evening. Welcome to Gordcast live stream hockey talk. And what an exciting day it has been here in Canada. Right from, I guess, morning, wee hours of the morning, and we have, I guess, in memory of the Humboldt Broncos, I guess we'll say, tragedy that happened this past weekend. And I just think how the country has tuned in and given support, I think is just phenomenal. Even today here, and for those that are tuning in from abroad or internationally, in Canada this past, I guess weekend past, we had a major tragedy where a hockey team was involved in I guess in a bus accident, and there were many loss of lives. I think there were 15, some of them players, some of them personnel that was, it was the bus carrying the Humboldt Broncos, and it was a transportation truck. And today, I guess in support of Humboldt and the team and Saskatchewan, we had I guess the sport of hockey really came true. We had a day where everybody would wear their jerseys. And everywhere I went today throughout the province and here in St. John's, it was, I don't know, it was very heartwarming. Brandon Chennai says, huge support from the Pittsburgh area, fans and team. Thank you, Brandon, so much. And here in St. John's, Newfoundland, and all throughout Newfoundland and Labrador, we have tremendous sport. And there's no doubt that hockey is Canada's sport. And to see how the people have come out and supported this cause, I just think it has hurt us right from the bottom of our toes, right to, I guess, the top of our heads. And I just think it's phenomenal to see everyone with their jersey on. And again, this, I would think this broadcast here, Gordcast live stream hockey talk, will go out in memory of the Humboldt Broncos team here today. Now you're looking at me and you're saying, oh, here we have Gordcast. Alongside of me today, guys, I have this special young gentleman, Marcus Sullivan. It was back a few years ago. Can you remember, Marcus, when I first met you?
Yeah.
I think I was into A&W. Was it A&W?
Yes, A&W.
And when I was in there, I had on a Maple Leaf jersey, and Marcus was into the I guess restaurant with his dad, and before I guess before his dad left, his dad's name is Jeff.
Jeff Sullivan, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Sullivan. So Jeff came over and told me that he said that Marcus really liked my jersey that I had on, and then I tell you what I did. For the first time, I had my wife had given me a watch for Christmas. It was a Maple Leaf watch, right here. Okay, just show them up. Okay, this was back. How long ago would that have been, Marcus? Probably 3-4 years. Maybe 2, 3. And anyway, when Marcus came over and told me how much he loved the Maple Leafs, and his dad told me how much Marcus loved the Maple Leafs, I said to Marcus, here, you take my watch. So I gave my watch to Marcus, and from there it was a bond created. I got to know his dad. His dad worked with Kevin Parsons, and I am also a big supporter of the provincial Progressive Conservatives. So there I got to meet Jeff, his dad, and then I followed Marcus on Facebook through his dad. I met his dad several times at a coffee shop. I spoke to his dad. So tonight being a playoff game, I decided to send a message off to Marcus' dad, and I wanted to invite Marcus in and join me with my program. So first of all, and here he is. His dad is at busy this evening, and so his mom has come along, and his mom is there wearing the big Maple Leaf jersey. And as you can see, stand up there, Marcus, and stand up and show the people right in front here your jersey. Okay, just go over a little. No, the other way. Come on.
On the other.
Okay, just move down a little so they can see you now. Okay, so that's Marcus is wearing his Maple Leaf jersey. Marcus, first of all, just sit down. Okay, who is your favorite Maple Leaf?
What?
Who is your favorite player?
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews, guys, is his favorite player. How do you think that the Toronto Maple Leafs will do against the Boston Bruins?
Well, Toronto will so Toronto was
Yeah, but do you think that they will beat Boston Bruins?
Yes.
Do you know this summer or this winter they played them in 4 games? You know how many games they beat Marcus? Or Marcus, they beat Boston, Toronto did?
Yeah.
How many games out of 4? Do you know?
Yeah.
How many? Big guess.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Toronto beat Boston this year 3 times out of 4. But the Boston Bruins, we all agree to, have a great team.
Yeah.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll just carry along, and you can feel free to join me, and I'll ask you a question from time to time, okay? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Who's your favorite player in the NHL?
NHL.
In all of the NHL. Is it Austin Matthews? If you could be one player in the NHL, who would you be?
When I be?
Yeah, who would you like to be if you could be one player? Would it be Austin Matthews or Sidney Crosby?
Austin Matthews.
Okay, okay, guys, you can see that he is diehard Toronto Maple Leafs all the way. Again, guys, alongside of me here today, I have Marcus Sullivan. I met Marcus back, I would think it maybe 3-4 years ago right now. And Marcus told me that he was, and his dad told me that he was a diehard Maple Leaf fan. So then I figure give Marcus an opportunity to come in, and I show him my little broadcast room that I have set up here, and I figured why not and let Marcus join in. And basically it's not a whole lot different than what you would have a professional, I guess, broadcasting, other than it's more technical and more advanced and definitely more money. But anyway, Marcus, I welcome you to Gordcast, and I hope you enjoy it, and you feel free to speak out whenever you like, okay?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let's get back. Tonight we have, I will focus on the Maple Leaf game, and I will give you what my thoughts are on the other games that are on the go. I thank those people. Kenneth Martin says, Marcus is a smart man. Andrew Pro says, great job, Marcus and Gord. So you got people there, and I don't want to miss anyone else. Hello, Mr. Ren Edwards again, Mr. Dennis Thorne, my daughter, Lori McKay. When I see those little names there, Marcus, that's my daughter that lives in Grand Prairie, Alberta. So it's my daughter. So she's watching on, and she got our grandson Nash. So from this here, you can see, Marcus, they are this is all over the world, Marcus. So people are looking at Marcus Sullivan from all over the world, and Marcus Sullivan is going to be a star Maple Leaf for the next 45 minutes or so. Marcus, great?
Yes, great.
Okay. Lucas Laney, I'd like to say hello to Lucas.
Yeah. Hi, Lucas.
Lynn Hillier, I say hello, Lynn. Hello, Gary Holloway. Anyway, Tampa Bay Lightning tonight will be playing their first game. I'm expecting Tampa Bay to virtually, they shouldn't have a whole lot of problem with the New Jersey Devils. I'm expecting Tampa Bay to virtually beat New Jersey, be it, I don't know, maybe 5 games. Do you think Tampa Bay will beat New Jersey?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And with New Jersey, though, Taylor Hall has had an incredible season. So I think the reason that New Jersey are into the playoffs is because of Taylor Hall. But I think with the Tampa Bay Lightning has Stamkos, they have Hedman, they have a number of stars. I'm expecting Tampa Bay to virtually to beat the New Jersey team there quite handedly, Marcus.
Yes.
Okay, we'll leave the Boston game series alone. We also have Washington playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. With Washington, we have Ovechkin. Ovechkin, I think he's done everything in the NHL with the exception of winning a Stanley Cup. It's him this year. It's Patrick Marleau. And it's Rick Nash. 3 journeyman, well-distinguished players that I think are looking for a Stanley Cup. Would you think is the best out of them? Do you know Ovechkin?
Yes, I know it's Ovechkin.
How good is he?
He's good.
He's good?
Yeah.
Do you think that Washington will beat the Columbus Blue Jackets?
Mm-hmm.
And so do I.
Yeah.
So do I, yeah. And do you think that, Ovechkin will be the difference in the series?
I call him Ovechkin. I call him Ovi.
Okay, he calls him, guys. He knows, guys. He calls him Ovi. And most of I guess the hockey world do call him. I just say his name is Ovechkin, but Marcus says he calls him Ovi. But I think Washington will beat the Columbus Blue Jackets. Although the Columbus Blue Jackets had a great run. Eric Lundgren is saying 5-3 for the Leafs tonight. We also have here, so I'm saying Washington over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Maybe, I'm not quite sure what I did say, but I do predict a win, and I'm saying maybe 5, if not 6 games. We have James Franken Little. Wouldn't you like to see... I don't know. Anyway, we also have Colorado playing Nashville. And I think the reason Colorado has gotten into playoffs. Do you know who the good player on Colorado is?
Yeah.
What's his name?
McKinnon.
McCrimmon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he knew that it's McCrimmon, guys. And he is, no doubt, McCrimmon is up for Hart Trophy candidate.
And his goalie is Jonathan Bernier.
And he knows that the goalie is Jonathan Bernier. It surprised me. Jonathan Bernier, yeah, I know why you know Jonathan Bernier plays with Nashville. For the simple reason that he was a Toronto Maple Leaf, right?
Right.
That's why you know that Jonathan Bernier. But anyway, I'm predicting a Nashville win here in 4 or 5 games. Do you think that, do you feel... Somebody says you're a little sharp fellow there, Marcus. Do you think, Marcus, that Nashville will beat Colorado?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So what are you saying, and how many games?
How many games?
Yeah, that they will win the series. 5 or 6?
5, I guess.
Yeah, 5. That's where I would say 4 or 5. Then we have Anaheim playing the San Jose Sharks. Are you aware that the San Jose Sharks have been good since the trading deadline?
Yes, yeah.
And who would you think would win there?
Well, Brett Burns is the long beard.
Okay, yeah. He said Burns has got the long beard, guys, and he does with the San Jose team. So he's kind of surprising me here, folks, with Burns. He's a good defenseman, eh?
Yes,
Who would you think would win this series, San Jose or Anaheim?
Probably San Jose.
San Jose, yeah. That series is going to be very difficult. Anaheim have a very big team. They're very strong and powerful. And San Jose have I think, since the trading deadline, where they picked up Buffalo's star player, they have come on, and I think that one is anyone's win. I'd like to say hello to Greg Mayo, and if I'm missing anyone here this evening, folks, I'll get to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then we will go all out on the Maple Leafs and see what we take, because there are a fine lot of people in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador that are for Boston and are for Toronto, with the majority being for Toronto. Greg Mayo says, hello, boys. So that's a guy from Marystown, and he works as an electrician, and I taught him in school, and that's why he's so smart. All right. So anyway, Greg, welcome to Gord Cast here. And again, alongside of me, I have Marcus Sullivan, who Marcus is a big Maple Leaf fan, who I met back, I would think, 3 or 4 years ago. And again, I invited him in to be part of Gord Cast here for the playoff game. He just loves the Maple Leafs. And I thought that he would be well versed on the Maple Leafs, but what's surprising me here today, that he's fairly versed on all the NHL teams. So good for you, Marcus. Obviously, you take a keen interest in NHL hockey, right?
Yes, right.
Right. If the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't win, do you have a second team, Marcus?
The second team.
Yeah, if Toronto don't win, who would you like to who would you like to win?
Toronto.
Toronto first. Who will be your second team that you would like?
Second team.
Yeah. Anybody else? If Toronto gets knocked out, who would you like to win the Stanley Cup?
Well, the Nashville Predators.
Okay, Nashville Predators. I think, to be honest with you, I think the National Predators. I got the National Predators as winning the Stanley Cup this year. I hope Toronto wins it, but I think I had predicted last night last night Nashville would be my number one team to win the Stanley Cup. If not Nashville, it will be Pittsburgh Penguins. And Pittsburgh Penguins came out last night and they bombarded Philadelphia. How much did they beat Philadelphia by last night, Pittsburgh Penguins?
7-0.
7-0, man. You got her. You hit her the nail right on the head. Do you know who got a hat trick?
Sidney Crosby's hat trick.
Sidney Crosby got a hat trick, guys. The young man knows his hockey. When Greg Mayo saying, a fine-looking fellow there, Gord. Ken Martin saying, that Marcus knows his stuff. He knew all about... do you know what the score of Vegas and Los Angeles was last night?
1-0 Vegas.
1-0 Vegas, man. You hit her. My brother was at that game last night, and I was hoping to get an opportunity to chat with him today. He had a fairly good seat. He's in Las Vegas, and he saw the game firsthand. And I wanted him to give me his opinion on what he thought of Vegas. Tony Evers says, way to go, Gord. Nice guests, Leaf fans all over the place today in their jersey. Today, I think it hit me so hard, guys, and I'm saying this with all sincerity behind me, is that when I see what hockey really means to this country and how they come together for this humble community and the humble Broncos a hockey team, I don't know. It's just, and maybe it comes as you get a little older, you realize the value of it all. And the bottom line is to a sports, hockey, any of the sports, it's just a sport. Our life is so precious. And when we see those lives that have been lost, I think that we we understand that, you know, we could go with a flick of a finger. And I think all of us we have siblings, we have parents, we have grandparents. It just hits from the bottom of our heart. Let me see what I see. Greg Mayo saying, Gord, I guess you've seen the CFI. I love the picture of the CFI electricians there, Greg, from in St. Lawrence. Is the electricians. I would think that was working on the concentrator, and it was a C of the NHL. I could see jerseys there. I looked at the two jerseys, Greg, and I tell you, Greg, it was very touching. And I think that picture is precious, and I think it's one that should be you should get enlarged and put on the site for years to come, because those memories will be there. And I definitely did enjoy it. And Greg said it's a fine bunch. Absolutely, Greg. Greg is an electrical foreman in St. Lawrence in the mines, and they had a picture of all the boys today with their jerseys on. There was jerseys on from all throughout the NHL. Ken Martin says the support for the Broncos shows truly the class we hockey fans we are, which no doubt.
Are we going to do the Leafs first? Or
I'm going to tell you what, we're getting to the Maple Leafs there. Now I see my uncle is on, and that'd be my aunt and uncle. That's my Uncle Joe. He lives in Ontario, but he's currently visiting family in Grand Prairie. And his wife, which is my aunt, that's my Aunt Mariette, but we call her Marianne. So certainly hello to you, Aunt Marianne, and to my Uncle Joe. And alongside of me, guys, I have a young guy here, Marcus Sullivan, who is a tremendous Toronto Maple Leaf fan, and I wanted to give Marcus an opportunity to join Gorecast, knowing that the Maple Leafs are going into the playoffs, and knowing that Marcus thinks that the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah. Am I right, Marcus?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, boys, I got the man there with no convincing this guy here. Jerry Parsons says, hello, Gord, hello, Marcus. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get to what I think of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I want your comments. I'll take my time. Your comments will be just as much a part of this cast as what my comments will be. I don't know for any of you that read today on my Facebook. Probably in most cases, most of you probably didn't have time, but I will allude to it, and I would expand on it. And if you want to question me, and if we have any Boston fans on, I welcome you with your comments. I welcome you with your challenges. I understand that this series could go either way, but first of all, I am predicting that the Toronto Maple Leafs will defeat the Boston Bruins in this series. And Marcus, I know who you're predicting that it's going to win. Who? Toronto or Boston?
Toronto.
There you go. Okay, I'm predicting that Toronto will beat Boston in 6 games.
So,
what would you think? How many games are Toronto going to take Toronto to eliminate Boston?
Toronto has to eliminate Boston because so if Toronto can beat Boston tonight,
yeah.
So
what do you think it will take Toronto? 5 games or 6 games or 7 games?
Let's say 5 games.
5 games. So Marcus is giving them one. Marcus is figuring an all-out blitz here for the Maple Leafs, not giving Boston a chance at all, are you? Just 1 game. Okay. Anyway, guys, this is what I feel. Now, Marcus, I want you to listen to me very closely. I've done a lot of reading on this here. Eric says, Rick, hope you're cheering for the Leafs tonight. Greg Mayo says 5-1. 5. Greg is saying 5 games. I agree with Marcus.
I think the score is going to be 4-2, I guess.
Okay, guys. Marcus is predicting 4-2. Anyway, 4-2 tonight for Marcus in 5 games. So, guys, I invited the right guests in. he knows he's hockey very good. He's not giving Boston a chance.
No.
Or very little, I should say, right?
Right.
Okay. This is what I feel. I think the difference in this series is not going to be who's on the ice. I feel the difference in this series is going to be who's on the bench. And what I'm getting at, I think the Toronto Maple Leafs have gotten in Mike Babcock. I think they have the best goalie currently in the NHL.
Yeah.
Would you think that who's the best coach in the NHL?
Mike Babcock.
Mike Babcock. So okay, Marcus agrees with that. He agrees that 34, number 34, Austin Matthews is his favorite player. How about the goalie for Toronto? What's his name?
Frederick Anderson.
Freddie Anderson. So is he good?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Okay. So so anyway, Marcus thinks Freddie Anderson is good. Joe Dunphy feels, that's my uncle, he feels Boston in 5. But my uncle is for the Montreal Canadiens. That's why he thinks that Boston is going to win, eh? So he feels Boston is going to win for the simple reason.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Because he's a Habs fan. Today I heard the best one of all. I had my wife out for coffee, and my wife had some business to do. And Eugene Manfield saying, good job to you, Marcus. So anyway, my wife had on her Maple Leaf jersey. I had on my Maple Leaf jersey. So today, it was question going on when we had coffee at Tim Hortons was, why was Winnipeg game on TSN and not on CBC? And why was the Pittsburgh game on CBC and not on TSN? So in actuality, why wasn't it reversed? And so anyway, we came up with some, scenarios and explanation. But the best of all was, one guy come in and he said, I went around, I looked for Toronto on CBC, I looked for Toronto on TSN, I looked for Pittsburgh on Sportsnet. And anyway, the other guy come in and he said, I was looking for the Montreal Canadiens. And he said, you know where I found them at?
Well,
I'll tell you what the guy said, where he said he found the Montreal Canadiens. He said, I had to go to the Golf Channel. Right? I thought it was really cool, and it was a great laugh. So the Montreal Canadiens were playing on the Golf Channel last night.
Yeah, Golf Channel, yeah.
you like that?
Yeah.
Right on. And so did I. So Toronto playing on CBC or TSN or Sportsnet, and we had Winnipeg playing on TSN, and we have Montreal. So I'll move on. Montreal, we're playing on the Golf Channel.
Golf Channel.
Anyway, guys, getting back a little more serious. The coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I feel, and what I read was, he made Patrick Bergeron in 2000 from being, he was with the Olympic team, and then he brought him up to the first line, and then he went on, and Bergeron, we know for the past decade, has been probably one of the best two-way players in the NHL. But right now, Bergeron is at 33. And he had, in the last Olympics, I believe, or the World Championships, he had Marchand. He brought Marchand up to the first line. He made the two of those players to be quality players. That is the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs we're talking here. Then we had the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, also Kadri. Everybody had a dislike for Kadri until Babcock came in.
Kadri.
Yeah, Kadri.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so when we had the coach, he made him into a great two-way player right now. Gene Murley is saying, go Boston, go. So way to go, Gene. So anyway, so it was Babcock that had brought it, escalated, brought a cadre's level of play to the top. This season, at the first of the season, and I seen some of the loyal Maple Leaf fans questioning Bergeron with regards of his handling of Marner and Nylander. And now we have Marner and Nylander into both of them are 20 goal scorers. Both of them are future faces and players with the Maple Leafs. But again, it was the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs that thought those players that were young buckos when they played junior hockey, that there is a 200-foot game to be played at the NHL level. Furthermore, Ken Martin says, I think the Leaf speed is going to be what wins this series. I'll get to Boston. Boston's first line, I will think, are possibly the top line in the NHL. I would have to think, well, having said that, I would...
Well, Boston's in the second place in the division.
Yeah, Boston are in second place in their division, but their top line, they had 330 goal scorers on their line. Having said that, though, just thinking...
First line.
On their first line, they had the 330 goal scorers. That's who the Maple Leafs will have to stop in order to beat. Having said that, this is where I want all of us Leaf fans to watch. Eugene Banfield says, go Leafs, go. This is what
That's good.
I tell you now. The Maple Leafs brought in Plekanec. And this is where I'm asking our Maple Leafs fans to watch out and learn the value of Mike Babcock. I think Plekanec was brought in because the fourth line couldn't compete with the first or second lines of the other team. In addition to that, I read Brad Marchand has said the most pesky player that he has ever played against is Plekanec. That's why I think Babcock is constantly studying the game. He tried to get the guy Glendening from Detroit, but I think it was too much. It was too expensive. Knowing that, now I'm saying the real value of Plekanec will be in the playoffs, and furthermore, I would think that Babcock also knew the possibility was very great that Toronto could play Boston, and it was Plekanec that does the number on Merchant.
Rick Nash and Rick Nash is injured for Boston.
Yeah, but Rick Nash, you are right. He was injured, and you know what has been wrong with him?
What?
He had what injury did he have? A concussion. But folks, Rick Nash will be back in the Boston Bruins lineup tonight. Did you know that, Marcus? He'll be back tonight.
Oh.
You didn't know that, did you?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I feel Also, though, I said today, if you reverse the coaches on the teams, if the Leafs had Cassidy and Boston had Mike Babcock, I think Babcock and the Boston Bruins would beat Toronto Maple Leafs in 4 games. Because that's how I look at the top coach in the NHL comparing one to the other. And I can tell you that when I think I saw videos on Babcock, Mike Babcock might get paid money. And
I'll pay money.
He gets well paid. But I can tell you the truth, he lives and dies the sport. And the value of him is not in his bank account. Yeah, he got a great bank account. But you know what? He would have got a great bank account wherever he went because he's proven. But I also saw another video on Shanahan. And Shanahan, all his life, he wanted to be a Maple Leaf. I wasn't even sure where Shanahan was born. I know he was a great player wherever he went, and I believe it was St. Louis. Let me see, St. Louis, New Jersey, and Detroit, and he's a winner. I know Jeff O'Neill that plays with the Maple Leafs. I believe it was Shanahan told him.
Who's Jeff O'Neill?
Jeff O'Neill, he's one of the, he played with in the NHL, and he's one of the, I guess, the analysts on TSN there right now. And he told, Shanahan told him that when he played with him, that he need to go and get himself fit. Anyway, we had Greg Mail says he's like off the, I'm trying to get it in Laurentian, off the Laurentian. Anyway, there, Greg, I guess I'll agree with you. So, like, now, having said that, Boston do have a great team. I would think Bergeron has been...
Rick Nash.
Yeah, Bergeron has been the best player, I think, best two-way player in the game for the past decade. I think Marchand right now is on top of his game, but he can be a loose cannon. So it can work well for him, or it can work against him. So I'm not quite so sure. And the third guy, you know, before I look it up here, if I get it here, let me go. The third guy on the top line with Boston, he's a great player, goes about his business very professionally, and I just think he's a 35 goal scorer and complements Bergeron as well as Marchand very well.
We got in bottom.
Do you know who the Boston goalie is?
Boston Buddies took your ass.
Yeah, he got her. He got it, folks. Kadri will play Bergeron. What's your think? Okay, Greg Mayo asked you here. Look, he's saying Kadri will play against Bergeron. What do you think? Do you think that Kadri will be able to stop Bergeron from Boston, Marcus?
Kadri?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you do? But do you think that Kadri could pick up penalties?
No.
No? Why not?
Because Kadri was frustration or something like that.
Yeah, frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, okay. Let me see, folks. I'm trying to look for a name here as well. If I can get my computer in line here. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs will go as far as Freddie Anderson takes them. Do you think that's a fair statement, Marcus?
Yes.
You do? Yeah. And the other thing is, I want to see too. To be honest with you, I'd like to see. What is the strength of Austin Matthews, Nylander, and Marner?
They're a good three players.
They're good players.
Yeah.
Yeah. But will they be able to take the rough, tough, the big bad Bruins? The Bruins are always been known as the big bad Bruins. Do you think they're the big bad Bruins? Do you think that Toronto will be able to hold up?
Yes.
I'd like to say hello to Michael Lewis here, a friend of mine, and Michael is working on Hibernia. Congratulations on, first of all, Michael, getting your job. So will the Boston Bruins, do you think Boston Bruins will fight against Toronto?
Well... Yeah.
They will fight against him. Do you think the Leafs will be able to, if Boston goes with a physical game, a rough, tough game, do you think that the Toronto will be able to play and hold up against them, Marcus?
Well, Toronto will,
Will Toronto fight?
Toronto fight?
Yeah.
Yes, they are, yeah.
They will fight if they need to?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. Why?
I'm thinking that a series could be.
So Toronto's in 7, right?
Yep. You got her there. Toronto's in 7. He's looking at that, and Boston are in 4th. But it's not a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm.
Boston lost their last game of the season against Florida. That would have put them in first place. What happened to? Why did Boston lose to Florida? And as all they had to do was beat Florida to get in first place. Why couldn't they beat them?
They went to 4-2 again.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Okay, why? Why did Florida beat them?
Because Florida has to win in playoffs.
Yeah, but Florida didn't need the last game. Boston needed the last game. So why did you think that? Boston couldn't beat the lowly Florida team? Anyway, Chad Brenson said, Bruins tonight, Gord. Just watch out. There's another a guy there follows Gordcast regular, Chad Brinson. He's a Boston fan. He's saying that Boston is going to beat Toronto. I ran in today, guys. I ran into a guy today that was wearing the Boston jersey, and I had my Maple Leafs jersey on again for the Humboldt Broncos, and so we just chatted and wished each other well. He said to me, I don't know the guy, never asked him, I wished him well. He felt whoever wins this series will come out of that division. I agree with him. Whoever beats between Boston and Toronto will beat the winners of Tampa Bay or New Jersey Devils. That's how he felt that way. I would feel the same thing.
Well, Toronto can beat. No, hold on now. Toronto can beat Boston.
Yeah.
Before the Stanley Cup final, and Tampa Bay will beat New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay. He's saying Toronto will beat Boston. He's saying Tampa Bay will beat New Jersey. Carry on.
And then Tampa Bay goes on to head to face the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup final.
Who would beat? Yeah, but who? You're saying the Toronto. Okay, he's saying Toronto will. You're saying if Toronto beats Boston and Tampa Bay beats New Jersey, then you're saying if Toronto ends up playing Tampa Bay, Toronto will beat Tampa Bay too.
Toronto will beat Tampa Bay. Yes, yeah.
Here we go then. We high five on that one. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think both teams. The struggle for Boston is going to be get past Toronto, but the problem is for Toronto is getting a hold of Boston. There we go. No, carry on.
Well, the Stanley Cup final is Toronto against Winnipeg Jets.
With who? The Winnipeg. Oh, you want Toronto against the Winnipeg Jets in the final?
Yeah.
You're all Canadian. You're like Don Cherry. You are. You can't see no further than east to west of Canada. Well, good for you. Anyway, we have Neil Edwards here. Neil is from Lon. If Boston don't play any better than they did against Florida, they won't get a game off Toronto. Well, that's what I also read, and again, I do a lot of reading, is that Toronto at one point in the season had played 5 more games than Boston. Well, obviously they all had to play 82. Then at the end of the season, Boston had to make up those 5 games. It was, I read coming out of Boston, it was saying that Boston appeared to be tired at the end of the season. Having said that, I don't think you will see that in Game 1 or Game 2. I think the only way you'll see any reflection of the schedule working against Boston if the season or if the series prolongs. So if Boston had to play a number of games, I think the regular schedule, the second half being heavy on them. But having said that, every young fellow that went in with the Boston Bruins this year have surpassed of what their expectations were. So, okay, what are you reading there? Chad Brenson says, we're going to have to do a playoff talk before one game. Not a problem, Chad. You're more than welcome. Anyone that wants to speak or join me, you're more than welcome. But I would ask you to just send me a message, and then we'll change the message over to a telephone conversation, and we will go from there. So anyway, I think Toronto's defense are suspect. What do you think, Marcus? I think the Toronto's defense has been their Achilles heel this year. And I think that could come out to hurt them. Do you think the Toronto defense will carry them into playoffs? Do you think that the Leafs defense, Marcus, are strong enough?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Who do you think was going to be the Maple Leafs top defenseman?
Top defenseman?
Yeah. Would you know?
Top defenseman.
With the Toronto Maple Leafs.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah. Who do you think would be their top defenseman? Do you think it's... I'll give you the names here. Who do you think the top defenseman with the Toronto Maple Leafs is?
Defenseman's Riley.
Do you think it will be Riley? Who's the best defenseman, Riley or Hainsey?
Riley.
I would go with Riley too. I think Riley has had a career year. Having said that, I think Riley and Hainsey will be out against the top.
And now get the left defenseman, Travis Dermott.
Yeah, Travis Dermott. He's going for Travis Dermott. He sees Dermott there. Dermott has had a great season, but he picked up an injury at the end, and he's also, I guess, a rookie. So I guess he'll be a little bit nervous tonight as well, Marcus. Do you think this big Roman Polak? Do you think that he will be able? Polak, yeah. Do you think Polak will be able to live up to scratch? Will he be able to contain them big Boston players?
Yes.
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Here's the three lines here. The three lines belong to the Maple Leafs. You read out the first line, Marcus.
The first line is Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
The second line is Austin...
No, just read this one. Across here. The first line.
Oh, the first line is Austin Matthews.
Yeah, center.
William
Nylander. Zach.
In the bottom?
This one here. Zach Hyman.
Oh, Zach Hyman.
Okay, that's the first line. The second line is, and the other thing, guys, is that you have to know all three lines, the top lines of the Maple Leafs. All three lines of the Maple Leafs have a 30-goal score. The top line belong to the Boston Bruins, have a 30-goal score. And I'll get back to the Boston Bruins. I don't want to leave them out. I'll give them every bit of respect and credit. They placed higher than the Maple Leafs, but the fact that the Maple Leafs beat them 3 times out of 4, and I think the addition of the bench strength that the Toronto Maple Leafs got will put them over the top. Ken Merton says, I think the defense is the only thing standing in the way of a Stanley Cup. If they can use... Don't make your comments too long, because then it goes into a second part. But if they can use their defensive speed, we can do great. Absolutely. Very similar to Ken. What I'm seeing is that is also the strength of the Pittsburgh Penguins. That is the way the Toronto Maple Leafs will have to play. They will have to play an offensive game with the top 3 lines and the fourth line doing their job. I don't think the defense of the Toronto Maple Leafs can win it for us, but I think we got to be, if the Toronto Maple Leafs, if the defense don't do their job, what do I expect of the defense? It's not to win it for us, but is not to lose it for us. Having said that, I think the goaltending of both teams is equal. And who's to come out on best? At this point, we don't know. Chad Brenson says Merchant, Pasta, and and Bergeron are dangerous. Will feed on the Leafs defense if they don't watch out. No arguments from me here as well. Second line with the Maple Leafs, we have Kadri, Marner, and Marleau. We have Kadri with 35 goals. We have Austin Matthews with 34 goals.
And JVR.
Yeah, JVR. How many goals has JVR got?
JVR, I mean, Van Riemsdyk's and JVR.
Yeah, James Van Riemsdyk. He's on the third line now. I believe, how many goals he got? 36 on the season? Roughly. That's roughly what he got. Then they have Bozak and Connor Brown. I'm thinking this guy here, we will need a great series out of the... Do you know where Plekanec came from? Where the Toronto Maple Leafs got Plekanec at? Montreal. He got him from Montreal. Do you think that Montreal should have kept him?
What?
Would you like Toronto having Plekanec, or would you rather Montreal have kept him?
Toronto will Plekanec.
Do you like him?
Yeah.
Do you think he'll do the job?
Yes, he'll do it.
Is he better? Is he better than Dominic Moore or Matt Martin?
So they haven't get a point or haven't get goals or.
Okay, well, carry on. And Komarov, Babcock likes Komarov. Komarov shows up when it counts the most, folks.
Well,
okay, let's read what the guy here is saying. We say Barry Martin is saying going to be a close match defense. All defense will win for the Leafs, but don't rule them out. First game 3-2. Barry Martin is saying first game 3-2 for the Maple Leafs. Hello, Lonnie. I don't know if you were there. Alonzo Sleeney, do you see the name there? With me, I have, for anyone that joined in late, I have alongside of me, I have Marcus Sullivan. I met Marcus at a coffee shop back 3 or 4 years ago.
Downtown.
And anyway, Marcus came over and his dad brought him over to meet me. And again, when I met Marcus and I knew he loved the fans so much, my wife had given me a Christmas watch, and it was the Maple Leafs, and again, show the folks. There, look, there, folks. That's the Maple Leaf watch that my wife gave to me, and I gave to Marcus, and I invited Marcus in.
Also, Sling says hi, Marcus.
Look. Yeah, a lot. He's a guy that left St. Lawrence. Marcus, he left St. Lawrence 40 years ago. And he moved to Alberta. And since I started up a Gord cast, he was following me on my soccer. And then he follows me on my hockey talk.
Oh, look.
And and he wants to say to you, hello, Marcus. And then we also have Ken Martin saying that his prediction. What is Ken Martin? What score is Ken Martin predicting?
My score is 4-3.
4-3. And Alonzo Sleeney is saying, what is his score that he's predicting?
4-2 Leafs.
4-2 for the Leafs. And what did you predict earlier?
4-2.
Yeah, okay, Lonnie. Earlier, Marcus made a prediction that it would be 4-2. So I'll remember both of your scores. So your score is 4-2. So anyway, I'm going to take a look at the big bad Bruins, and we'll take a look at their lineup. I'm not quite as familiar with their lineup, but if we have Bruin fans on, add in your comments. And I do know the first line. The first line are as good right now as what's in the NHL, and that's Patrick Bergeron, Brad Marchand, and David Pastrnak. Yeah, he's good too. They got three of them got over 30 goals apiece.
Yeah, and Christie's there.
Which one?
Davis.
Yeah, what about this guy here?
Rick Nash.
Rick Nash. He know. Jocelyn is saying, no, Kevin Slaney is saying, hello, this guy, Kevin Slaney, I met him back in 2015. He grew up in St. Lawrence. Him and my Uncle Joe We're very good friends. I met him at the field when I was vice president of Newfoundland Soccer. He moved away. I met him, and now he follows my Gordcast all the time, and he's joining in with the comments. My wife is not quite sure where she's at, but anyway, I think she may have been gone over to tonight. Coming into St. John's was Caitlin Osmond. I think my wife went to the airport to see Caitlin Osmond. Do you know who Caitlin Osmond is?
Caitlin Osmond.
Who is she?
She's a Special Olympics.
Okay, she was in the Olympics.
Olympics.
And what did she win?
Skating.
Right on. She won a gold medal in skating, and she also won. She won a gold medal as team event. I believe she won a bronze medal in the individual, and for the world championship, she also won a gold medal. Here, my wife says, let's see. Kevin Slaney says, agree, Jocelyn. Jocelyn is saying, awesome interview with Marcus. Okay, we'll carry on. Oh, maybe my wife is upstairs. I see, I thought she was gone to the airport. Ken Merton says, got a great co-star with you tonight, Gord. And Marcus, I think, Marcus, do you enjoy this, Marcus, as being a part of the Gordcast?
Yes.
You do, eh? Mm-hmm. You like this? Hey, would you like to do this for a job sometime, to run a little program or to be part of a program?
Well, I think yes.
You would?
I would, yeah.
If at the end of the show, if I invited you to come back another time.
Well, I'm 21.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right on. So, you're 21. Marty Strang is saying, hello, Marcus. 2-1 for the Leafs tonight. Marty Strang. Well, if I invited you to come back another time, would you love to come back another time?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see how our Leafs we'll see how our Leafs makes out against Boston first, right?
Right.
And then we'll see. You never know, right? Because you know why?
Why?
It's not easy. The Boston Bruins are not giving it to the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the Toronto Maple Leafs are not going to give it to Boston. It could go either way. You think that? Mm-hmm. You think it could go either way, or you figure it's not a chance that Boston could win? What do you think? Do you think it's possible that Boston could beat Toronto?
No.
Okay, he's not giving in, guys. Marcus is not giving in. He don't think there's any chance that Boston can beat Toronto. Not a chance. You don't figure. Hey? What do you think? I just saw there, do you know the man that was just on there? The man that was just on there was the former Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador. Do you know who the former Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador was?
Who?
Paul Davis. Do you know Paul Davis?
Yes, I know Paul Davis.
I know you would know Paul Davis. He was just on there. Look, Paul Davis, the former Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, is saying, hello, Marcus, go Leafs go. You say hello, Mr. Davis, back to him.
Hello, Mr. Davis.
And what about his wife's name? Do you know his wife's name?
Yeah.
What's her name? Is it Mary or is it Cheryl?
Cheryl.
Right on. So there you go, folks. The man knows the former Premier. He knows his wife. He knows that. Do you know who the former Premier cheers for?
Who?
What team? Who's his team? Well, he cheers for the same team as you cheers for.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
You got her. And you know who his wife cheers for?
Who?
The same team as you cheers for.
Oh.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we got here, folks. Chris Fitzpatrick is saying, it's going mad. Chris Fitzpatrick saying, 3-0 Leafs. Good job, Marcus. The city is shaking here tonight. Yeah, there's a big buzz on, folks. You know, there's energy. Now with live streaming, with the social media, I think we can connect right across the globe, alone across the province. And this today with this, with the marking of the tragedy, I just think that it has energized the whole country with unity for support. Were you aware of the accident of the Humboldt Broncos hockey team, Marcus, that had the accident in the bus? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know today that everybody is putting their hockey sticks out by their doorway, putting on their jersey? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you feel sad for all those families that got people hurt and the people that lost, hey? And everybody feels sad, Marcus. And everybody is reaching out to him.
Well, I think that's a yes.
Yeah, I know. I think. So Marcus says yes. Neil Edwards says, I think Boston and Toronto is going to be one of the toughest series to predict. Absolutely, Neil. That's how I feel. And but I do feel the difference. I also said today, and I probably said it earlier, I have so much respect for Mike Babcock that I feel that Babcock, if he were with Boston, I think he could beat Toronto in 4 straight. That's how, and that's no disrespect to Cassidy, and I don't follow the Bruins enough, other than I knew that for most part during the year, the Leafs were chasing Boston, and Boston were in second in the Atlantic Division. And they had an opportunity to get first, and they lost to Florida. I want to ask you something else, Marcus.
What?
This big Zdeno Chara. What's your thoughts on him?
He's big.
He's big. He's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Will he beat up the Maple Leafs, or will the Maple Leafs blow by him and he can't catch him?
I think the Maple Leaf.
Yep.
I think the Maple Leaf.
Yep. Do you think that Chara will hit the Maple Leafs, or do you think that Chara will he'll be too slow?
I think Chara's be slow.
Okay, he thinks that Chara anything at all that's in the favor of the Maple Leaf. Marcus got a sized up, folks. So he knows that if there's a weakness,
take the big guy out.
What?
And take the big guy out.
Take the big guy out.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants to take the big guy out, guys. Okay, Neil says, I think Boston and Toronto is going to be one of the toughest. I also feel too. What do you think of James Van Riemsdyk, the top goal scorer on the Toronto Maple Leafs? Do you think that he will be a star player for Toronto in the playoffs, or do you think Austin Matthews is going to be the best? Yeah, who's going to be the best? Austin Matthews, or James Van Riemsdyk.
Austin Matthews.
Yeah, okay, and I agree with you. I think James Van Riemsdyk will be strong in front of the net on the power play. I think he's big, and obviously he proved it, and he has had a career year. He might score, but who do you think who will get the most goals between Austin Matthews or Mitch Marner or William Nylander or Kadri? Who will get the most goals?
Riemsdyk.
Who?
Probably Riemsdyk.
No, you got me. Who do you think will score the most goals between Toronto? Who's going to be the top goal scorer? Are you saying James Van Riemsdyk? Is was that what you were saying? James Van Riemsdyk? No. Who's going to be the top Leaf goalie?
Goalie?
Goal scorer.
Oh, goal scorer.
Yep.
I think Austin Matthews when he goes.
Okay, everything with Marcus is Austin Matthews, guys. I can't get past it. So he's bought right into Austin Matthews. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. What we'll do now is it's 8 o'clock here in Newfoundland time here now. The game is coming on in half an hour. TSN will have some coverage of. I guess more or less looking at what they feel the outcome will be. So Marcus, I thank you for coming in and joining me on my Gordcast. And I want you to thank everyone that's out there now for all of them for joining into the program.
Yes.
You say I like to thank all you people.
Yes.
Okay, so he's saying yes. You wave to him, Marcus. Wave to the people. Okay. And if it ever comes to be, and we'll see what as time goes on, that maybe another time, Marcus, that if you feel comfortable, that maybe you can get together with me. If not even this time, we'll see how the playoffs go. Maybe I'll invite you back again next year if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a playoff game,
Yeah.
like you says, I want Toronto in the Toronto will win the cup against the Jets or the
Okay, Marcus is saying in summary, guys, that he's feeling that the Toronto Maple Leafs will win the cup. And it will be at the expense of the Winnipeg Jets. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
Well, you know what, Marcus? I hope you're a prophet and your words of wisdom will come true. So, but before you go, just hold on for a second. You stay there.
Yeah.
Okay. What I got? Right up. Yeah. I got a new. For Marcus here, guys. Look, now that is my wife picked up a new. Here, just stand up there. We'll hold it up. That is a Maple Leafs. Okay, just move it along. That's a Maple Leaf scarf that I will give to. Marcus Sullivan for coming in and joining me in on the program here tonight. And Marcus, we'll sit down again.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got it.
Okay, we'll shake hands. I think you've done a fabulous job, my friend.
Yes.
And I thank you for coming in. And I hope you enjoyed the playoffs. And you send me a message every so often on Facebook or get your dad to send a message. And we'll see how our Maple Leafs do. And I thank your mom for coming along with you. And I thank your dad that I sent a message to today. And
are you gonna text my dad to let him know?
Yeah. We'll text his father. Yeah.
Okay, gonna text his father, guys. I'll tell you, the world is gone computer savvy, folks. And for those that are, those people that can't keep up, they're gonna lose out, aren't they, Marcus?
Snooze your
About what?
What?
About what?
Technology. About technology.
About technology. Oh, technology. The Toronto Maple Leafs, we're gonna see those young kids to beat the big bad Bruins, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining in tonight. I thank you for all your comments that you made in prediction. I thank you all the complimentary remarks that you made and directed at Marcus for Marcus in joining me here on my Gordcast.
And then make you happy on that, right?
Yes.
What's that? He made me happy, yeah, so good for you, and we get some good...
If the Leafs wins.
If the Leaf wins there, guys, so he's getting it right. Anyway, Marcus, I thank you dearly for coming in. I thank you people for joining in here, guys, and let's see what our Leafs can do, and if we ever lose, I think I'll be a lifetime. Wave to the folks, Marcus. Okay, guys, this is Marcus Sullivan tuning in and tuning out with Gordcast live stream Hockey Talk, where tonight we will have the opening game of the 2017 finals for the Toronto Maple Leafs and Boston Bruins. Thank you and goodbye from Gord Dunphy and Marcus Sullivan. Thank you kindly.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, all kinds.
See ya. Bye.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot.